A downtown Asheville restaurant has eliminated tipping.
Blue Dream Curry House announced the policy change yesterday. News 13's Evan Donovan joins us from inside the restaurant now.
And Evan, why did they do it?
Well, the restaurant's owner says it's a great way to try and pay his employees a living wage. Just Economics says that's $12 an hour here in Western North Carolina. But more importantly, it's also a way to close that pay gap between the back of the house, where the chefs and the cooks actually make your food, and the front of the house, where bartenders and servers bring that food to you. Now, they'll all make the same amount.
And see, they've been playing good music now.
Snow day. School's out.
Which one of y'all can name the band before it goes off?
Not just kids, but teachers too.
None of y'all know?
But in school or out, they're always taking the opportunity to teach.
You know, this is Led Zeppelin.
Especially the value of hard work.
I grew up working in the restaurant business. I started bussing tables when I was 15 years old.
And this busser turned 6th grade math teacher calls the move by Blue Dream Curry House to get rid of tips and pay all employees a living wage revolutionary.
In an economy like Asheville, where you have many people who can't find other forms of work, many of these people who are waiting tables have bachelor's and master's degrees. They're looking to find other work. We are a tourist economy, and these people rely on this income.
Some people say this could lower the level of customer service, but Blue Dream's owner says the idea tipping ensures good service isn't true. Most people tip based on their values.
You understand that the money that you're leaving on the table is paying the wages of that server. You know that you have to pay that. And that's why I like to say this is an obligation masquerading as an option, tipping. Because it's optional, but it's not really.
A commenter on their Facebook page opposed the idea, saying you can no longer make a lot of cash in a small amount of time, and that Blue Dream was turning restaurants into Walmart. But Cunningham says employee feedback so far has been great.
They take care of us the way they proposed it, the way they're showing us everything that's going on, the benefits that you'll have. You know, you don't get that working restaurant.
And customers like the Lindsay family say it made them regulars in a snap.
A slow day and a fast day, now you're equalizing it out. There's no such thing as a bad shift, you know? So that's pretty awesome. I'm real pleased with it.
So now when you're finished eating at Blue Dream Curry House, you swipe your card right here. It brings up what you owe and just says approved. Instead of bringing up a tip line, you just sign for what you got. Now, that doesn't stop people from leaving cash tips on the table. Chris Cunningham says he's not going to chase after people to give them back, but he's going to take all that money, put it in a big pool, and at the end of the month, along with a percentage of the restaurant's monthly sales, they'll be able to give a bonus to all the employees. Reporting live from downtown Asheville, I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
With winter weather on the way, staying off the road is your best bet.
But for those of you that have to get out, News 13's Evan Donovan has some tips on how to stay safe before and during the trip.
And Evan, where's a good place to start?
Well, Tammy, make sure you got enough food at home. We're at the Bakersville Quick Mart. There's only one loaf of bread left inside. Plenty of milk, though. But when we're talking about your car, your tires are a great place to start. Make sure you got enough tread. There's a wear bar that goes across the front that's a little bit hard to see, but in the next half hour, I'll show you a little trick that you can use with a penny. You also want to make sure that they're inflated the right amount. Too much, and they won't grip the road. Too little, and you'll have trouble driving on them. But we also talked to a driving professional today who had some great tips for what happens if things go wrong when you're inside the car.
It's so important that your car is as prepared as you are.
When it comes to driving experience, it's tough to beat this guy.
I have a master's degree from Appalachian State University in driver and traffic safety, and I've taught driver's ed or been associated with driver's ed for 40 years.
So just a little bit of that experience.
Just a little bit of it, yeah.
Leroy Ledford owns Mountain Professionals Driving School. His biggest tip for winter weather driving? Increase following distance.
General rule for following distance is anywhere from 2 to 3 seconds. In inclement weather, in snow, ice, sleet, rain, all of this stuff, double those.
That's the time it takes you to pass a sign or light that the car in front of you just passed. Another tip? Use the gas and brakes gently.
With analog brakes, if you hit them too hard, they will do the pumping.
There's also plenty to do before you get in the car.
Make sure in this kind of weather that you have plenty of gas. Windshield washer fluid, certainly. Make sure your wiper blades are in good order.
But in that nightmare scenario where you spin out of control, turn your steering wheel towards the back end of your car.
If my back end is going to the right, cut it back to the right. You stare into the skid. The main thing's not to get into the skid.
Now, you also want to have lots of supplies in your car, including lots of stuff for you to eat. Inside here, we've got, just some snacks that you can bring around. I've got a lunchbox in there that has something a little bit healthier than what you're seeing right there. Also, my photographer keeps some MREs. Those are military meals ready to eat inside his car. You also want to have washer fluid, lots of water, some kitty litter, and possibly some sand to help you get out of trouble if you get into it. Now, coming up in at 6 o'clock, I'm going to show you another item that people don't really think about that you also really should have if you got to be on the roads tomorrow. For now, reporting live in Bakersville, I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
And obviously, the safest place to be the next few days is at home. But if you have to drive, News 13's Evan Donovan has some tips to keep you safe.
He joins us live in Mitchell County. Evan.
Yeah, Larry, one of the things people don't think about is make sure that your tank is full. If you're going to be out on the roads tomorrow, you could get stranded or you might get in an accident. That's why you make sure you have enough gas to keep you warm inside the car. Another reason to keep some supplies in your car as well. We've got water, some chips and snacks. Things a little more healthy in that lunchbox down there. My photographer even keeps some military meals ready to eat inside his car. Tires, another big thing. The penny test. You put your penny inside those treads. If you can still see Lincoln's head and all of it, then you need to replace your tires. Lastly, if you come over here, want to make sure that you've got enough windshield wiper fluid extra inside your car and also that you've completely filled up. Check your battery if you get a chance. If it's already a little bit low, the extremely cold temperatures can drain whatever's left. And some kitty litter or maybe some sand and salt. You can put that underneath your tires in case you do get stuck. Now, when you're inside the vehicle and you are driving, if you hit that nightmare scenario, some black ice, you start fishtailing. We talked to a professional driving instructor today about what you should do.
If my back end is going to the right, cut it back to the right. You stare into the skid. The main thing's not to get into the skid.
Now, the last thing that you might not think about that you want to have, some sunglasses. That driving instructor, Mr. Ledford, says you need to have these because the glare from the snow is going to be really bad. And the final one, and always the biggest one, make sure you're always wearing your seatbelt. Reporting live in Bakersville, I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
All right, well, turning now from the roads to events.